And hello everyone, welcome back to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and I am coming back, not immediately after my end of 4.2, but a little bit after that on the same day. This time doing what is a late night stream at the time of streaming this. Simply because I currently have the ability to speak and read text dialogue, so I thought I'd take advantage of that and try to get through more of the MSQ while I am still able. So without further ado, more often than not, it seems opportunity is wont to come knocking when the Scions are about. So long as you and yours remain here in Kugane, I am certain a profitable venture will present itself. Whatever Asahi is planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all Lord Heian has done, the Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. I will replenish our coffers, you wait and see. If all goes as planned, we will recoup the cost of Gosetsu's blade 10 times over. Autumn, what are you doing? Did I wake you? Sorry if I would. My cat is like, come on, it's late. But I want to try to get through more of this if I can. If I can't get through all of 6.3 in one go, then, you know, if I start to fade, if I am at a good pause point, I'll pause it. If you like what you see at any point, please like, share, subscribe, etc. Give me a follow on Twitch, hit the notification bells. You know what to do if you made it this long through all the various parts. So without further ado, and yes, we will be doing the recouping money issue after we get through 4.3. As usual, get through 4.3 and then proceed to get into any trials, quest series, raid, the raid, trial series, alliance raid, all of that stuff, and then go into pre-patch content. So without further ado, Gosetsu and Tsuyu. Gosetsu and Tsuyu. Alphino has important news to share. Okay, so what is this news? Myrokos. Impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Heian. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Guardian's part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yanshu. It would seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. So far, so good. Lord Heian requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Yep, will he? Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave then. Lord Heian will be waiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru. Don't you worry about me, I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Yeah, and don't spend any more money. Because we don't even have money for souvenirs. Thanks to you. I am very much in favor of a peace agreement between Doma and the Empire. Loosen that imperial grip, I say, and let the trade routes breathe freely. Of course he wants to make money. Alphino has been keeping a very careful count of his coins lately. I doubt he'd ask for a sip of water without asking the price first. Ooh, Tataru. And I've been gone for, what, a few hours? At this point? Yeah, and I need to start this list here. Enclave, I think. Because otherwise you have all these under construction buildings and nowhere for people to come back to. This is highly irregular. We have spared no effort to increase the guard at every settlement here. In Yansha, the Red Kojin will trouble us no more. On that you have my word. Good to hear, Hakura. But what about your brethren who are still roaming Yansha? Some of them are still thinking that there's no order to be had. Unless they're part of the guard. Let's see. Lord Heian is expecting you. May I show you in? Oh, I love being in this space. Walls. Just noticed this. These walls are curved. And again, it's supposed to be, I guess, some sort of tapestry in multiple parts, or drapes of some sort, by the looks of it. But still. And then, of course, here you have partition doors. Goodness, I feel tired, but not too tired to stop. Ever since he drained our coffers dry by buying that sword, Alphino has had his purse strings in a death grip. I can't even buy a cup of tea without him going about the dangers of frivolous spending. Oh dear. Well, at least he's learning. Yeah, the Redditor had a relapse, but he's getting back on track. Yeah, well done, Alphino. Keep this up. We know the broad strokes from his letter, but I would hear the details of our Doman friend's progress from Lord Heian himself. I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swift. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. What? Oh dear. Good gods, is he alright? Yeah. Gosetsu, you lived and were not well. Confined to bed and grumbling without cease. Well, aside from the confined to bed, it sounds like he's back to normal. But he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it high time he received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well. Indeed we are. We will visit him at once. Myrokos, Alize, shall we? Yep.
Open wide now.
Pleased to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon?
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... a gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
What? Well, I did not...
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
I did not
My
consent
lady,
to seeing
I
that.
assure you, this is not...
Woo. Someone's abrupt.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink.
Oh, that's why. Okay. That's a little bit better, but still very abrupt.
What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man.
Uh-oh. She's remembering...
Is something wrong to you?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire and her a model grandchild. Indeed, had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him, you couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains. He will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yugiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So, what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. Child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me. And everyone else, I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuyu will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. True enough. Understandably, she as good as fastened the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Tsuyu first. Out of the sight of my country. Will you help me? We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Garleans are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Tsuyu. Even after weeks of surveillance, it was difficult for me to accept that Yotsuyu's condition was genuine, but not as difficult as accepting Gosatsu's affection for her. The skiff will take us to our meeting with the ambassador. We will join you at the docks once preparations have been made. Let's see. I think I'm using... Yeah, I'm using the... current one. I am indeed using the current title, so this is as current as it comes. Still, I do like this room. I wonder how often we'll be able to be in here. And of course it's raining. Can you imagine Yotsuyu playing with bowls on the floor? I don't know that we can think of her as the same person. Shall we wait here then? Lord Heian should not be long. Don't worry, I have an umbrella. You can stay dry. Or not. My friends, have you seen Tsuyu? She is nowhere to be found. What? Did we not just leave her? What? But the Garleans will be landing in a matter of moments. If she fled, could it mean her memories have returned? I know not. Yugiri is scouting the streets as we speak, but it is possible Tsuyu has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think... Yes. Yes, my lord, now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her onto the boat. White as new-fallen snow it was. Was something important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Twould seem that Tsuyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Well, since I'm doing casting, even though I don't need it, I might as well get a free glam. Her memory must have returned. Why else would she run? With Tsuyu, I cannot see how the prisoner... Without Tsuyu, I cannot see how the prisoner exchange, or indeed the peace process at large, can proceed. We have to find her, and soon. Gone like the morning dew, though his face betrays little sign of panic, Ian is plainly desperate to find Yotsuyu before something terrible happens. It seems Tsuyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance, for all of this, lies with me. But I would ask for your aid nonetheless. We are at your service, Lord Heian, now as before. Let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Tsuyu is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I will take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alphino, if you would take the road to Castrum Fluminus. Myrokos, forgive me, but could I ask that you interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. Oh, and I don't even have to board the ferry because the permit says I did. Oh, and I'm already here at Yuzuka. Very nice. Welcome to Yuzuka Manor, yes. If there is anything you care to know, you need only, a pale-skinned woman. I have seen no such traveler. I am sorry to say, most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have in abundance. Do I even want to know what's happening here? Unusually pale skin. Yes, I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip. She had just crossed the shallows east of here and was headed in a northeasterly direction. For the most part, her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you might still catch her. I'm kind of worried about what's happening here. And it is kind of weird that I'm using an umbrella kind of indoors, but, well. So it goes. I was just getting prepared to go outside. That's all. Okay. There we go, all these blade hands and bow hands. Security now? If so, why are they hostile? You see no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere further off to the northeast. Perhaps she's gone after the person. Though how no one saw her fording the river, I will never know. And again, it's not very well traveled, I suppose. Still no sign of Yotsuyu. Perhaps she is yet farther to the northeast. Stick to the logistics node, aka watermelon mount. Watermelon queen. They're trying to eat me. Oh, it's a fate. Yotsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground at a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. I'd help, but I'm a little busy. So sorry. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. In this rain, ditching a hat like that is not wise. You'd think she'd keep it, but oh well. Myrokos, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and the surroundings has yielded exactly naught, save this chance reunion with you, I suppose. Mr. Salazar has gone to assist her brother at the castrum. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hien here shortly thereafter. How did you fare at Uzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? Towards Namai. By the kami, if the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the paddies. The village square is yours. Oh no, she's walking headlong into town.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon!
It has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
The cat's out of the bag now.
It can't be. She couldn't have survived.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed, though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry! I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Well, that was, bracing. I can't forget that what that woman did to us, but I won't do anything to upset Azami. I'm not scared of her, not anymore. All of this over a persimmon. I failed to consider how she might endanger herself. Knowing she has the mind of a child, I should have continued my vigilance, not relaxed it. I don't know why everyone is so angry, but I got the fruit Gosetsu wanted. I hope she likes it. Fruits of her labor. Hien's face is a picture of relief. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed, and judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remained oblivious to the events of her former life. This was no escape attempt. Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Gosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon. Ha! And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Gosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way around, but let us continue on to Castrum Fluminus and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Alize should still be there conducting their search. The Imperial airship has arrived. Whether our conscripts are aboard remains to be seen. I was sure Yotsuyu has fled, but it seems her memory hasn't returned after all. How foolish of me not to consider Gosetsu's craving for a seasonal fruit. Lord Hien informed us of the uproar at Namai. Thank the 12 you found Yotsuyu when you did. I dare not think what might have happened had you not. Do we have to stay here long? He'll be waiting for his fruit. It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It is time to meet with the ambassador. And the rain gives way to a somewhat cloudy but still sunshine-filled time. That's coincidence for you.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
I wouldn't call those memories sweet.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
What are in those crates? I knew better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyu's future to rest. I've sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. Okay, and I'm back for the moment. That was very awkward that it cut right there, albeit at a suspenseful moment. But... yeah. So I get to, guess, rewatch the cutscene. Or, okay, so... yeah, we're gonna have to rewatch the cutscene and then hope we don't get disconnected again. Otherwise, you know, for YouTube I can always re-edit this. That was very, that or Yotsuyu happened to completely undo the stream, which was very unusual. So once more with feeling. So let's do over.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Help! 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 Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu! A font of misery! You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
I knew he was up to something.
I don't want to die.
Yikes. It's terrible.
Any sign of her?
Well, she was here.
What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
I knew Asahi was up to something. So Asahi got his way in the end, and at an unspeakable price. He really is a vile little worm, isn't he? Yep. So Yotsuyu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I cannot say I am surprised, but what I struggle to fathom is Asahi's aim in all of this. Yotsuyu hid her recovery well. I had no inkling that her memory had returned. I keep asking myself when it could have happened, at the meeting with her parents, perhaps? But then why would she? Nay, there is not to be gained from such conjecture. We have recovered the Nayuri's remains, and will hold the cremation anon. Would that they had never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. So Yotsuyu has returned to the bosom of the Empire after all. I can't say I'm surprised, but I struggle to fathom what Asahi's theme in all of this is. Good question. Conscripts and contingencies. Lord Heian seems keen to take stock of the situation. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyu into Garlean hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning, all is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But will Asahi? But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted, and that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fluminus is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekibune, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leaves us far less vulnerable on the water, assuming, of course, Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before, and I won't be alone, will I, Myrokos? Nope. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her work. I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Yugiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask their aid once more, I must treat with them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphino and I shall be about our task. and we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short, and Rasho may take some convincing. In my mind, Yotsuyu is deserving of only one fate, memory loss be damned, and if you don't have the stones to do it, we would be happy to take on the burden. It'll be over nice and swift. Now there is a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge rats such as we? If you've come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. Ha 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 ha! And what fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would hasten tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all of this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithe, you sail in peace. Deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mistress Alizane. We did not come here to moralize, we came here to talk. And there is more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army, and as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Ian. The losses we suffered at the Garlean Its hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below when you load her up with conscripts, and the water. But when you load her up with conscripts, the waterline rises. Those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you will do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman Lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this, Doman Lord. If we each inspect a third of the ship, we shall be done in a trice. That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ihanase. Sorry about the pronunciation. Ihanase. And I thought I had a knack for parleying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. I like that glam. I wonder how I can get it. In the event, I have a haul to inspect. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. See no signs of damage. The water is so invigorating. I have not swum in the Ruby Sea since, but I should be concentrating on the task at hand. For once, I'm actually glad Yugiri isn't here. I doubt she would have taken kindly to a pirate inviting Hien to inspect his hull. True enough. I am the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seemed solid enough. The section I inspected had a crack. On the port side, near the bow, you say. Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in that gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I am happy to report no visible cracks or holes in my section of the hull. You're Lord Hien. The captain sent you to inspect the hull? Kami have mercy, forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Ha, 'tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fair is Our Lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack on the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot. But he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there is a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yansha or out on the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Ihanashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let us return to the Enclave. Lord Hien is expecting you. Alphino tells me they had little trouble finding a suitable route out of the castrum, but he won't say much more than that. If I didn't know better, I'd think he was hiding something, though I can't imagine what. Alphino, what's up? The castrum was deserted, quite deserted. It was a simple matter to plot the shortest path out, hence our swiftness. Now what's up with him? We found the castrum's tower unoccupied and betraying no signs of recent activity. Only shadows and echoes awaited us there. Alphino seemed oddly reluctant to linger, but I saw naught to concern us. It seems Yugiri and Alphino completed their task before us. They have been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the Woon River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray to the Kami. These precautions were unnecessary. Okay, no new dialogue. The primary agreement. Ian is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport of the Imperial prisoners. He will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank not far from the castrum. As a former Imperial soldier, I have been chosen to oversee the handover of our Imperial prisoners. Whilst I am so occupied, I must ask that you provide steadfast support for Lord Ian. Will do. There's the boat. Although it looks a lot more painted than before. It was looking very dull. Let's see if we can go up to it. Although I suspect it's just decoration. Yep, there's the wall. Yep. Oh, they painted it. She was looking a little dull. But it looks like they did paint her. No matter what Asahi throws at us, we cannot let that monster have his way. Would that we had some hint of the ambassador's intentions. Had we not prepared for the worst, I should be wary of going through with this at all. My only concern is the safe return of our people. That is what my lord wishes, and that is what shall be done. Do not worry about the ship. It will be here, be where it needs to be, and with Tansui at the helm. The tower rather spoils the view of the view across the river, does it not? I concede we might perhaps have chosen a less ominous place to conduct the exchange. Yeah. There are better places to have done this. Your party is assembled then? Aye. And ready for what lies ahead. I trust, lest there be any confusion, though, the tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That and whatever else Asahi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
Oh, God. Oh, no. We're dealing with a summoning? Really? And this is... us. Oh.
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning!
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run? Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Okay then, hopefully at this late hour we can just give up. Queued up, and let's see if we are able to do this without disconnecting. Having disconnection issues today seems to be a thing. must be taking a little while. You need to get up and stretch your legs. Do something. Okay, here we go. Assuming this last TPS. Otherwise we get... Oh, there we go.
It's going to be a long night. Whoa! Your end is near. Your death will be all the sweeter.
What's happening?
Myrokos, I rise anew. Suffused with night, I shall prevail. In night's chill shine petals veil. Whoa! Suffused with night, I shall prevail! Your end is near. In sunless gloom, black tendrils trail. No, not yet. Not yet! I'll grind you under my heel! Grind you under my heel!
Oh, even her clothing. Inverted colors. Interesting. What the?
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down.
None of this would have happened had you not meddled.
My! Such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger, then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
I hate this.
But I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This Dorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
What?
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you. What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
Yosetsu will mourn you. Tsuyu deserved a kinder fate.
Her happiness was never to be. Not in this world. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Lord Xenos. Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
That does not sound like Xenos.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord.
That was definitely not Xenos. Something, it's his body, but...
My...
Cassian?
My master. Lord Xenos. He will come for you.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone?
Yep.
Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Oh, they're still here.
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Saw a vision of Asahi's past. Xenos was behind this plot.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an imposter has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
What? No, not good.
Mad.
This is not good.
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
This is your moment. I believe in you. Well, for now.
'Tis not for me to stop you. But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
If she's not happy.
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Still don't know if that's a good thing. Gosetsu dragged himself here from his sickbed, only to be greeted by the sight of Yotsu's corpse. I had not the words to comfort him. Ah, Alphino, you impulsive fool. I thought about trying to talk him out of it, but I know what I would say if the roles were reversed. Stubbornness is something a family trait. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning... Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice. She chose to submit to the ambassador's plans. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibune before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet remains on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
You're welcome.
Ah, there you are.
Gosetsu. That... These...
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Safe travels, and don't lose. I'm getting reminded about the end of Doma Castle. What? I wish him well, but no, don't leave. I don't want him to leave. He's Borosetsu's too good.
This is no forlorn and final farewell. Send me on my way with a smile, my friend.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
I'm gonna miss him. Oh! Ihanashi. So I think the time you spotted that cracked plank, that ship ended up bringing my father home. The captain said, well, let's just say I'm not a pirate anymore. I'm going to live in Doma with my father. We are free. Oh, that's a good ending for him. It will be far too quiet without Gosetsu around. I wonder if we'll ever see him again. Oh, speaking of reunions, have you spoken with Ihanashi? It turns out his father was among the returning conscripts. Yeah, I just spoke with him. Gosetsu relinquished his duties with a grace befitting a samurai lord. I only hope that I can fill the void which has been left which he has left behind. There he is. Gosetsu. Fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray, join us in the Kyankan. I would thank you properly. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Or... Lord Hien trained under Gosetsu from the day he was old enough to hold a sword. Though he smiled through all the farewells, none will feel his absence more keenly. With all of that out of the way, Doma should be able to look forward to a period of relative calm. As for us, well, we have an intriguing story to tell everyone back at the Rising Stones. Indeed. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that will never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives as a source of grave concern. Mayhap the gravest, yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu by building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side he might live out the remainder of his days in relative content. Would that the kami had been so minded. Even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. To deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that, for a brief moment, a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us. And that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. Doma owes you a great debt, my friend. Thanks to you, we have everything we need to prosper. You and Alize must promise to visit us again soon, and Alphino too, when he returns from the Empire. Know that my thoughts go with him. However far his pilgrimage may take him, we have not seen the last of Gosetsu. Of that I am certain. Under the moonlight. Alize seems ready to bid farewell to Doma. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let us call in at Ralger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lisa about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that. Yeah. We're missing a corpse. Wait to have that conversation. Oh dear. Quiet since the treachery in the throne room, but the Kaliana problem will need to solve it someday. Myrokos, Alize, you're back, No Alpha now. It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what almost certainly turned out off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that's impossible. If this is a joke, gods, this had better be a joke. Alas not. We're missing a corpse. Look, I know what I saw, alright? We all saw it. And here you are saying he's alive and well and living the high life back in Garlemald? I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I am inclined to trust Myrokos. He saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. It was him, it was Xenos. Xenos is alive. No, it must have been I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. And someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Wait, what? Somebody dug his body up? Why are we learning about this now? Thal's gilded halls. Whatever are you talking about? Oh, Thancred. Thancred, what brings you to the Reach? Alphino had me lending a hand at the saltery, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running, and now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggesting that the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave. But if it would put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. But we were already told that the grave was desecrated. That means somebody's already opened it. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhow in the locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked, so as not to upset the locals. And it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge here until I get back. You'll find Xenos' grave up at Bloodhow, the burial ground in the locks. The stone isn't marked, but it's set apart from the others, so it should be obvious enough which one you're after. Oh yes, I still have some exploring to do. Yeah, I still need to get around here. But I'm going to be going here, so... I'm just scouting. You know, if they were to make Alameda a full-blown city instead of just a small open world border like this, and presumably, even though it's a bit of a ways away, the one thing is this certainly has the making of a good airship port. Although the prospect of minotaurs out here does kind of make it difficult to reach. Well, in any event, we have to get back to a certain grave. My money is on writhing snakes, possibly spiders. Let's prise it open and see what comes out. Most of the graves are grouped together, but they managed to find a lonely spot for Xenos, didn't they? Although I do dare say it's marked. I mean, look at this. This is it. Gods, he'd better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more of it. So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied. Well then, we are presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we are not observed in the doing of it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
That's what I've been saying. We're missing a corpse.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Who's that? He's wielding a katana. Well, if there's no corpse, not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a if there's no corpse, then someone must have stolen it. Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphino's theory of Ascian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Ascian is walking around in Xenos' body? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that principally because that even though it was Xenos' body, he didn't sound like Xenos. That's not that. None of that was stuff Xenos would necessarily say. It wasn't in his cadence. It wasn't in his mannerisms. Something was off. It seems a distinct possibility. Once I put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick, as he as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Raban needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Relger's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we were due another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been to the Rising Stones. And of course it's starting to rain, dampening on the parade. Oh, all the way back here. Whoa, okay. Back in the Rising Stones, talk to everybody. We gathered what scraps of intelligence we could, myself from within Eorzea and Alphino from his Far Eastern sources, but there's a limit to what a bloke can learn about the Empire from outside its borders. Still, I'd never think to invite myself aboard an Imperial bloody airship. 'Twas impulsive, reckless. You've got to admire the lad's style. I know grandfather and homie have yet to discuss it, but with the liberation of Doma, it is surely a matter of time before the refugees decide to return to the Far East, no? Yeah, eventually they will, surely. Those of us who were afield have finally returned. Full glad am I to have everyone back. The place had been too quiet. Another mission fraught with danger, yet here I am still. Quiet moments such as this, spent in carefree conversation with comrades, I have grown to cherish most. Oh nice. Where's Homie? Okay, seeing Homie going about his duties with a smile lifts my heart, even as it brings a tear to my eye. Glad though I am for his nation's liberation, I shall be saddened to see him go. I hope Isildur can find someone to keep him company. With our missions, we can never linger very long. I know I need to give Isildur my undivided attention, but these waves of brotherly love make my mind drift to naughty places. Focus, Enor. Focus. Oh, yes. The growing romance. Twould seem Master Alphino has placed himself squarely in the path of danger. As a fellow scion, I shall render whatever aid I can to ensure his safe return. Though he is but half the size of my courageous brother, 'twould seem Alphino's bravery looms twice as large. Even Hori might hesitate before embarking alone into the heart of the Empire. Wait, where is Tataru? Tataru is absent. Where is she? We're missing someone. We are missing someone important. Let's go into the solar. No. Yeah, Myrokos hasn't changed since Heaven's Ward. For a Scion, it's strange that all he's done is stand there. But where's Tataru? Tataru's missing. No. Does anyone know where our receptionist is? We're missing our receptionist. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Uriandre over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Ishtola is on her way and should be here any... Alize, Myrokos, 'tis good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the news of you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger's Gainer might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Myrokos, nay, Alphino had the right of it. Word that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold, in the shadowy web of the Paragons like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there were something I could do for him besides pray. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, we cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the right beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan. Every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of the star. This is so not Xenos' language. Who is in his body? Who? That is the question. Because La Habrea is trapped inside Ascalon, which is still ostensibly in the Etherochemical Research Facility, if I remember. What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you... Have you lost your mind? What the... I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Oh, this is sounding like Xenos. Oh! Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins? Embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. It's him! Oh, it's Xenos! Yes! So, it's an Ascian in his body, and... Xenos is in the body of an Elizan. Okay. Where is this going, I wonder? Okay. Alphinaud will have need of all his wits if he is to survive his visit to Garlemald. We know precious little about life in the Imperial capital. Okay, so... just updating my title. But still no sign of Tataru. Where is she? Oh well, I guess I'll, have to leave it here. For now, since that's the end of 4.3. Apologies about the hiccup regarding, the stream cutting out mid-cutscene. I have no idea why it did that. I'll hopefully have fixed it in editing so you won't worry about it. In any event, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell, give me a follow on Twitch. And I shall see you anon, friends. Up next, we do all of the stuff we usually do. Trial series, raid, trial series, and alliance raid. And then we'll resume the MSQ, since we're moving into pre-patch content. With that, I shall see you anon.